Well, a big episode coming at you guys today. Welcome back to the Road to NBA 2K19 series, and this is the last time I'm going to see the house that I grew up in for a little while. And in the wake of me moving off to college, I finally saved up enough for my own car. It's a 68 Chevrolet Camaro. It's really nothing too special, but hey, I really like it, and unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of flying down to Texas this time. I actually have to drive my way down there to Austin, but before I go, there's one place I had to stop by, and I think you know where I'm going with this. I had to pay a little visit to the spot that's always been there for me growing up, and I just had to think that I have this whole city looking out at my performance, and I have so many people that are rooting for me, and I don't want to let them down. So this is a big change in my life, and I had to visit that spot before I left. The trip itself is 1,743 miles, and I've always been a fan of road trips, to be honest. It's always fun to just hit the open road and let my mind, wander, but it wouldn't be too much longer until I see the New York skyline again, and you'll see why later on once I get down to Texas. But anyway, all the states I passed through, it was really fun actually, to be honest, even though it took forever, it seemed. I started out in New York, of course, but I would pass through New Jersey, parts of PA and Maryland. I even went through West Virginia, down to Kentucky, through Tennessee, split Arkansas, and finally made it to Texas. And Austin's relatively far south, so getting through Texas itself was a big deal, and all those other states just added to it. But finally, when I saw Austin in the distance, I knew it wasn't too much longer until I could finally get my college career underway, and I was so hype the whole way here. I can't wait to meet all my new teammates, can't wait to see Coach Smart again, and can't wait to finally get out on the floor. It's been a long off season, just perfecting my game, and I can't wait. The Texas roster is very young, and me being a freshman only adding to that youth, but I feel like we could at least go somewhere in this first season, my freshman year, depending on a few variables, which I'll talk about later. But hey, I can't wait. Pulling up to my dorm right now, and here we go. Let's take a look at my dorm. It's really quaint, it's nothing special, but hey, it's gonna be my home for a little while, so I might as well get used to it. Over here I have my desk where I do my schoolwork, and I got my laptop here. It took me a little bit to get everything set up, but it's still a little messy. I haven't had really the time to organize, but over here I got my bed and some shelves above it. Then I actually brought my guitar down here. Growing up, in my free time, I used to always like to write some music, so I made sure to bring that over here whenever I'm not playing basketball. And then I have some basketball bags over here, and here's my TV. Maybe I'll hook up a Xbox or something to it, but anyway, some of my teammates are coming down to watch the season preview show. It's an annual little thing that goes on before the season, and it'll be a nice way to bond with some teammates, so here we go.
Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Greg Gumbel here with my partner Clark Kellogg, bringing you the 2K Sports Season Preview Show. Here are the top 5 teams in the nation as we head into the season. The Michigan State Spartans come in as the #1 ranked team, followed by Duke, Florida, North Carolina, and Kansas. What do you think of the top 5 teams going into the year, Clark?
Sometimes the top players in the nation and the best teams in the nation aren't necessarily together at the top of the poll. But going into this season, we have some of the absolute best players playing on the marquee teams. That's really exciting to me, Greg.
The Michigan State Spartans are projected as the favorites here in the early going. Duke is in the #2 spot. Their dreams of tournament glory last year were quickly dashed in a first-round loss.
This year they have the potential to do much better than last. Last season they spent a lot of their energy getting to March Madness and were worn out once they got there.
Here's the next group of teams in our preseason top 25. What's your impression of that set of teams?
There's plenty of talent on these rosters, Greg. At any given moment during the season,
one of these teams could get hot and go on a run and win it all. As a matter of fact, I think they all have a chance to be champions.
What do you think of this collection?
I'm not convinced that all of these teams belong in the top 25. I don't want to pick out anyone in particular, but I think some teams that aren't on the list have a pretty strong case as to why they belong here.
The Texas Longhorns, the number 20 team, probably deserve a closer look. What stands out to you if you're trying to get a read on the character of this team, Clark?
Over the past few years, this team has shown an ability to overcome any adversity that comes their way. That toughness has become their trademark, and it will work for them again this season.
We've come to the part of the show when we look at the top players in the nation and unveil the list of our preseason All-American. There before you are the 5 first-team All-Americans as we begin the season, and what a list it is. As we move to the second-team All-Americans, we can see there's no shortage of talent with this group. They're all elite players with the potential to dominate the game. All right, Clark, that should do it for us here in the studio. For myself and all of us here at 2K Sports, thanks for watching our season preview. Enjoy all the college hoops action to come, everyone.
Well, if there's one thing that season preview show did was pump me up for this season. Ranked number 20th coming in. Should do something special, but after everyone left, there was one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to go on my laptop and look around the NCAA a little bit. First off, Coach Smart sent an email to everyone about the projected starting 5 in rotation, so I wanted to definitely check that out. At point guard this season will be Mitchell Drew, the sophomore, a guy who leads this team. He's led this team since he was a freshman, and he'll definitely be our main scoring option. Maybe might even take me under his wing. Then we have Chris Hines, our only senior in the starting 5. He's our 2 guard. He brings a little bit of everything to the table. He's one of only 2 seniors on this entire roster. Then at the 3, we have Albert Ford, a guy from Dallas. 6'6", 230. This guy, his makeup is pure muscle. He's a strong guy, and he could drive the lane. He finishes through contact very well. He should probably get his jump shot a little bit more consistent. That would help out a lot in stretching out at offense. Now we have a junior power forward named Moses Anaganye, who will probably play more center than forward, but he is better on defense than he is offensively, which leads me to believe he'll probably play a lot more center than this guy right here, Robert Saunders. Saunders is another freshman that the Texas faithful are very excited about, a very solid mid-range shooter for a freshman big man, and he could do some things on the defensive side as well. Now here I am actually our 6th man currently.
And you see, 175 pounds now. I added 25 pounds in the offseason. That measurement was taken just before the first game of the year, so us as a team hit the weights all year, all throughout the offseason, and it seemed to work out for me. Now we have Isaac Ashley, who play a lot of backup center, and he's really a guy that can space the floor well. But another backup center, in Brad Belcher, is a guy who's more of a defensive specialist, the exact opposite of Isaac Ashley. Those guys will definitely hold down the backup big men slots. Charles Battle, probably won't see much playing time from him in my freshman campaign, maybe in my whole career, as he's just really depth on the team. Justin Proctor is a backup 2 guard, a decent shot on him, and, subpar defender. He is our other senior on the team. Once again, one of the youngest teams here in the Big 12 you're looking at. Torian Lucas will get a couple minutes here and there behind me, but probably won't come off the bench very often. Damian Hood, just more backup guard depth. And finally, we have Burnell Abraham, a center who will probably get the red shirt this year. But I was on the internet a little bit, and I was looking at the other guys' situations. Deshaun will be a starter on the number 2 Duke team coming into this year. As you can see, he's one of the top freshmen in the nation, judging by overall. Donovan will team with a guy named Austin Womack, a recruiting class that the Wolfpack are very excited for. Even though NC State is the weakest out of these 4 teams between me and my friends, they might have the most potential out of anybody, because these 2 guys are going to be forces together, Donovan and Ashton. They're going to be fun to watch. Ferran will play point guard out of the gates for Arizona, and he will provide one of the most balanced starting 5s in the nation, as Arizona starts at number 8 in the year. in the top 25 polls. And here's a look at our schedule. We play Texas Southern to begin the year. Then we have the Legends Classic now. This is in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center. So that's what I meant before, is that I might see my family, I might see New York pretty quickly after my college career starts. And this is the reason, because the Prudential Center is right there in Newark. So I'll definitely be playing in front of family in that one. My family's going to be coming to that whole tournament. Look at that. December 5th, we got a matchup at Duke. We're seeing Bobby pretty soon. Then we play SMU, Oakland, UCF, TCU. That'll begin our conference slate. Put teams like Kansas, Oklahoma State twice, Texas A&M, etc., etc. That's just what you get in the Big 12. But immediately after I stepped onto campus, training camp started, and that's whenever we started the real work. This is how I got 25 pounds in the off-season, lifting and doing drills like going through cones. I've never been through a workout like the training camp of college, man. Shaka Smart just pretty much ran us into the ground, but I know he did it out of a place of love and wanting us to get better. He wanted to see us improve. And so, with that in mind, I used that to motivate me, and I loved every second of it. Defense, shooting, passing, conditioning, lifting weights, we did it all. I really impressed him in this drill, not letting the guy get to the spot on the floor with the marker. Had a lot of fun this offseason. It wasn't all serious though. I also got to see the town of Austin a lot, explore a little bit. But eventually, November 12th came around, and once we got out of school, we went right to the stadium. Here we go for my college debut against Texas Southern. You guys ready? Let's get out there. It wouldn't be until about halfway through the first quarter where I got my chance. Going on a 23-12 run to begin this game. Texas Southern coach calls timeout, and Shaka Smart puts me in. I might not get that many minutes, having an all-conference player starting at point guard initially, but that's why I'm going to have to make the most of the opportunities I get off the bat. It's not like high school where I play pretty much the whole game, but there's my first assist. Yes, Justin Proctor moving without the ball. The three-point specialist helps me record my first college assists there on that fast break. 26-12 game now. This one, I take it, I drive past the big man, making him look silly, and a spin move on top of that. Chris Hines will make sure that highlight play does not go to waste, as there's 2 quick assists now to my name in this college debut for me. I know Justin Proctor's liking what he sees. I hope Shaka likes what he sees as well. Ball reversal goes to the left wing, but then comes back to me in the corner. I hesitate, but I say, hey, why not? And I'm getting a lot of firsts out of the way. There's my first college basket, first college three-pointer, first college assist in a very small amount of action here so far in the first. That 3 would go, however, making it 34-15. And I would get subbed out after not a very long amount of action here in the first quarter. But I would come back for the last 2 seconds of the first half. Not really sure why, but maybe he just wanted us to try to provide a spark here, but we can't, as 2 seconds is not enough time for us to get a shot off. 45-24 game going into the half. This one's pretty much what anybody expected. This is just a tune-up game for us. As you can see, we're pretty much beating them in every category. Despite only playing 3 minutes of action, I did record my first college basket and 2 assists to boot, so I'm very happy so far with what I've done. I haven't been able to do much as I've only played 3 minutes, but I wanted to highlight, I'm on the bench right now, and I wanted to highlight the play of Mitchell Drew. As you see, he's got 17 at this point. A couple baskets later, now he would be at 21. Nice little give and go action as he moves to the corner. There's 21 points for him right there as Isaac Ashley keeps his head up. Now it's 63-47 game. Chris Hines being a little too aggressive, reaching in, and I get subbed back in. And I will try to get that rebound. It's not as easy getting bored to this level as high school is. You know, in high school is a pretty decent rebounder, but it's a lot harder at this level. Now here's Mitchell Drew moving through the paint, cutting, having his hands ready, and he has 23. There's an assist for me. Now Texas Southern would close the gap to 14. At the half, it was a 21-point game, so they're clawing their way back in it, but I beat the press break. They are a little slow getting back down the court, so that's just an easy late for me. I'm still perfect 2 for 2 from the field, and now I have a big man on me. I want to take it to him using one of the moves that Marshall Cunningham showed me, leaving that center touching the floor with that hesitation move. Getting fouled there. A tough foul, but I would be okay. Did that impress you guys a little bit? You guys think I had that one in me? Let's see if I can go to the line and record a few more points before this game's all said and done. Trying to provide a spark here. Leads up to 16 now. First free throw, I take 3 dribbles. That would sink through the bottom of the net. So that's 7 points for me now as some more reserves come in, as this game's pretty much out of reach at this point in time. 3:14 left to go. I got 6 points, 3 assists to my name so far, and a free throw. That one would be unsuccessful, however. And as the time ticked down, the ball would be in my hands at the end of this game. The end of my first college game. A perfect ending. Me just at the half-court logo, dribbling out the clock. 76-60 game. Everything in this game was just perfect. Mitchell Drew would finish with 23. I would finish with 6-3. Perfect from the field. Missed the free throw, but other than that, I pretty much played a perfect game in the minutes I was given. Now we got to shift our focus to that Prudential Center preseason tournament, the Legends Classic, featuring 3 ranked teams. All 3 of those ranked teams would move up in the polls, so now the stakes are even higher. Facing New Mexico State in our first game, and we're guaranteed against a ranked team if we win this one. Stay tuned.